Welcome to Global Village TV show. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're very honored to have our country Reeve and Arno and Abdikani coming to the studio today. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invitation. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Arnold, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I live in Gem. I've lived there most of my life. So I'm a third-generation farmer and rancher in the area. Work together with the brother and our families. We have 3 sons that work together with us there. So they're 4th generation. It's been a privilege to live in this area for all of my life, really. Wow. And so we raise beef cattle and grow crops on irrigated farmland that is, it's a real great opportunity in this area. So I've lived here most of my life.
And how far Gem is from Brooks?
Gem is about 35 miles northwest of Brooks, a completely rural area. Thankfully, in our area, all of our communities are quite well connected with good roads, which is something more recently and that's happened as a result of the county of Newell that's worked together to ensure that we have good roads, and that happened well before my involvement, which I have always appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have been to Gem. It's a very wonderful community, very welcoming and nice area, and you have a beautiful community center also.
Yes, yeah.
Beautiful community center.
Yeah, we really do. With a curling rink and a community hall, it's a great spot that is a community gathering place, and a small school, a grade 1 to 6 school in Gem as well. Yeah.
Okay, so then after grade 6, they come to Bassano.
Bassano or Rosemary, yes.
Or Rosemary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. From grade 7 to grade 12.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Abdikani.
Well, my name is Abdikani, as you mentioned. I was born in Somalia, but the first 19 years of my life, I grew up in a refugee camp in Kenya, and so I came to Canada, first Calgary in 2009, late 2009. A year and a half after, I moved to Brooks. I started my career here. I went through upgrading through Brooks campus, Medicine Hat College here. And I did most of my training in Calgary at SAID as an industrial mechanic. So right now, since October last year, I'm a fully licensed journeyman. I kind of love before I came to Brooks, I used to live in Calgary. And as you know, as a newcomer, it's a lot of challenge. When you're new to the country, you don't have you don't have much of a knowledge here. You're not able to drive, and most of the jobs they require that. And commuting was the hardest thing for me since I was in school as well. At the time, I was doing my ESL program and kind of starting to upgrade. So yeah, when I came here, I was a little bit hectic. Like a lot of my friends would tell me, "Oh, you're moving to a small town. You're gonna be very hard to find like everything you need and stuff like that." But I find it different. Like when I came here, I feel like everything I need is there, and I love the ease of commuting. Like you can have 2-3 appointments during the day and still get enough sleep to go to work at night. Yeah, I loved it. I was able to study and like use my time as well. And I loved the job, especially that was my first, like before I used to have a job, but this one is kind of career. That was my first trade. And yeah, I loved it ever since. I've been living here since August 2011. Yeah, I kind of get married here, as you know. I have 4 children, 4 boys and 1 girl, one daughter. So I have 5 children in total. And yeah, I love my life here. Yeah.
No, that's
a great story.
That's a great story, and the community is welcoming community.
It is. Yeah. One of the other thing I love about here is like like we have a huge, especially Somali community, right? Like we have a big population, and we have like few traditional stores, and we have a small area, as you know, we call it Mogadishu Street. Yeah. So most of the people there is from Somalia, and yeah, I love the other community too, especially with JBS. You can see all over the world, right? Everybody, almost maybe 100 countries from the world. So it's amazing. Yeah, I love almost everything here.
No, that's fantastic. And today you are you're sitting with our Reeve.
To meet you today. I'm very interested in your story. It's good to hear.
Our Reeve. So you want to tell us a little bit about the county, how the fabric of counties, where is the county boundaries and all that. So most of the people, especially newcomers, sometimes get confused, Brooks and County of Newell.
Right. We call it the Brooks-Newell region. The County of Newell is all the area around Brooks and runs west of Bassano to east of Tilley. So, and runs from the Bow River on the south to the Red Deer River on the north. And then of course, the Trans-Canada Highway cuts it in the middle, east to west, and the Highway 36 north to south. And includes all of the communities: Rolling Hills, Scandia, Rainier, Bassano, Brooks, Dutchess, Patricia, and Gem, Rosemary, all of the communities around. We're the rural area in all of these, all around the area. So we're kind of the people who watch the landscape and work in the landscape. So.
So JBS is part of the county.
JBS is in the County of Newell. That's right. Yeah.
So JBS in the county of
Newell. One thing I learned that today. I always thought it was part of Brooks. So. But everybody there is Brooks. So
So you learned something new today from the Reeve. From the Reeve. I think because JBS is in the county.
County
of Newell. But it's called Brooks and County.
And this area, one of the highlights of this area is that people work together, and the municipalities work together. The county works together with the city of Brooks, the town of Bassano, and the village of Rosemary and Dutchess to support fire services and recreational services in all of the area. And certainly the number of things that are happening out in the landscape, from agriculture to energy development to electricity, all of those things happen out in the landscape, but that benefits the whole area in a big way, also in terms of generating activity that helps to support tax dollars.
No, fantastic. I think both the county and the city, they work closely.
Yes, very much so.
And that's the model we want to also highlight, the documentary, as we mentioned too earlier.
The area is well known for what has been accomplished by working together. That's been a highlight of this area for many years, and a credit to many of our predecessors. I think of Wally Douglas, who's the former Reeve for almost 20 years, and Martin Shields, who was our mayor for many years, and they did a lot to make sure that people were working together, and that was a highlight. And I know that was a highlight in the province. It was my privilege to be the MLA for the area for 4 years, about more than 10 years ago, and certainly the leadership of both Martin and Molly through that time was significant for our area, and that hasn't gone unnoticed.
I think, and I am living a testimony, you were a very good MLA at the time also.
Oh, well.
And we are very honored to have you as a Reeve. So you came back from Prince Edward Island for a Canadian fame. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
We were fortunate to go there a few weeks ago on November the 4th, Saturday night. There was the presentation of the Canadian Agriculture Hall of Fame nomination presentations for this year. There were seven nominees, and we were really pleased and proud of the fact that Garnet Altwasser, who was one of the founders of all the lakeside farm industry initiative in this area, was inducted into the Canadian Agriculture Hall of Fame, which I think all of us are very proud of in this area, because really the initiative that was started there in the 70s has benefited everyone in this area, whether you work at JBS or whether you're farming in the area, raising cattle. It's become very much part of the fabric of this community, as well as the many people who work at JBS and call Brooks and the county of Newell their home. That was a celebration of the visionary leadership of Garnet and his partners. So it's a privilege to be part of the group that nominated Garnet for that recognition.
And I think he's well deserved.
Absolutely, yes.
And we say congratulations to him and his family.
Yes, yeah.
And we are very thankful to the county nomination. You nominated the right person. Yeah,
we're going to have a celebration of that on December the 1st out at Castles Hall from 2 to 4.
Wow.
People are welcome to come out and attend that. It's a local celebration of Garnet's nomination. So people are welcome to attend that. That would be good. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, and also you had another, all your sons, they won also another award for top 40 over 40, right?
Yes. Oh, that's interesting you mentioned that. Yeah, it's a proud moment for their parents, for sure.
Very proud of that.
It's the Avenue magazine in downtown Calgary recognizes 40 people who are under 40 every year. They call them the top 40 under 40, and our three boys together were nominated as a part of because of their grass-fed beef marketing initiative in Calgary. They have a store at the New Calgary Farmers Market on the west side, across from Canada Olympic Park, and it's been a real interesting connection with consumers. So, yeah, as part of that initiative, they were recognized. So that's a proud moment.
So they have a business. They take the business into Calgary and kind of promotion.
Yes, they market. They have a team of people in a meat shop there that, and also a small food kiosk in the Calgary Farmers Market, and they market Gemstone grass-fed beef, which is
high quality
product. Yeah, high quality beef that's finished on forage.
Wow.
In the Gem area. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of our business. So yeah.
Wow, that's congratulations.
Well, thank you. I wasn't.
To proud dad and mom. Yeah, I think that's. They you raised them that way, so the credit goes to them.
Well, sure it does. And it should.
It goes to them.
They've worked hard.
It goes to them. Yeah. So Abdikani, so since you came to Brooks, I think 2011.
Yeah, August 2011. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what will you think of when it comes to diversity and volunteering of the newcomers in general, not specific to one nation, but in general? How can we encourage newcomers to volunteer more to the community, in your own opinion?
Yeah. Well, like since I mentioned before as well, I love that you can get by anywhere you like in a short amount of time. What I would encourage newcomers to move to Brooks is like when you're really new and you're getting used to the life in Canada, it's a bit expensive, to be honest, to live here, to live in Canada, right, in general. And with the minimal income, you cannot sufficiently support yourself. And most likely, you know that most of us that come here, you have a family member that's struggling back home, or you are coming from a lot of poverty or a lot of financial difficulties, and when you come here, you need that income. So JBS, in general, it offers like that huge paycheck, like from day one, right? And you could be earning zero when you come here, and the next 2 weeks you earn like 1,800 paycheck, and which sufficiently can support yourself and, you know, support your family. And then in financially you can increase or even think about getting other stuff, next step, right? So that's the one of the main thing that JBS. And also there's a lot of profession at JBS. People usually, when especially our community, when you talk about meat plant, they only think, oh, it's going to be very hard to work there, you're going to have sore hands. Definitely, but there's also lots of jobs that you can do, you can learn. In my case, when I came here, I started working with Excel, so I'm familiar with most of the management here because it used to be in Calgary. And I get an opportunity to start a trade, move here and try work as an industrial mechanic. Through the program, with the trades program, that you can finish your studies while you're still earning. You know, you don't have to go 4 years schooling straight. You can just go 2 months every year. And at the same time, learn, like it's a big plant. There's a lot of equipment, and there's so many opportunities, especially for the newcomers. And you can also invest in the community your time too, especially if there's a lot of people that need interpretation, like whether it comes to the daily life, like even buying groceries and stuff, or taking them to helping them with their appointments, medical appointments, helping them with the job interview. Sometimes they have the skills, they want to work, but they cannot communicate. So that's what some of the things I did when I came here, and I'm still doing it. You always see me there. I have volunteered maybe over 300 interviews, like since I came here. I usually help with the community, especially with my job. I'm off 3 days of the week, work 4 days usually on the weekend, 2 days on the weekend and 2 days. Then I'm able to take people for medical appointments outside the city, especially Calgary or Medicine Hat. And I even encourage them. I say, if you know, like, I don't want them, if you need, you have to go Medicine Hat or Calgary, and it's on my day off, I'll happily take you there with my own vehicle, with my own time, with my own gas, whatever. But a lot of people, they try to even call you for small things that they can do for themselves as well, right? And since recently, I haven't been able to do much because of my family responsibility. So my encouragement, or my what I want to tell to the newcomers is, come check it out. You're gonna like it. There's a lot of, especially right now, it's a lot of solar construction around Brooks, which needs minimal of experience. You just have to show up, and they'll teach you what to do, and they have their own things. The interview, basically, it's actually a good opportunity to start your career, your life here, and hopefully maybe you stay longer.
No, that's well said. I think
absolutely.
You see, he's a prime example. I think he came from Calgary and he built it, and he did some personal growth, and also at the same time volunteering his time.
I think you've highlighted what's so strong about our area. It's there's lots of opportunity for hard work, but it also benefits you.
It also benefits you.
And that's how people generate income for themselves and activity for others, and the opportunity to help other people along the way. There's lots of opportunities for that. So I really appreciate your story, and I think it resonates with people who've grown up in this area too for many generations, because even the farming community with irrigation, as it was hard work when in past generations, but it was hard work that rewarded you, and the connection between hard work and getting ahead is important in the days that we live in today too. Very much for young people to understand that. I think appreciate the encouragement and the comments you've made. Yeah,
his living testimony came from tough life.
Absolutely,
and he made it himself. He has a family of 5, and he is completed his industrial mechanic and through medicine at college. So that's a very powerful statement that people can relate to. If you are hard work, honest, dedicated, and committed, City of Brooks and County of Newell is the right place for you to grow yourself and grow your family. Yeah,
that's right. And even, for example, our operation at home which is 3rd or 4th generation already, but the first generations came here from somewhere else and worked hard. So it's a great story and one that we all share at some level. And I think that certainly highlights what's great about our area, and the opportunities that are there for everyone who has initiative and a willingness to work. Yeah, that's what John Bittery just mentioned about his family came from Eastern Europe, and his dad a long time ago. So they've gone through the same struggle. Of what other people do. That's my story as well, or my grandfather.
So that is where
everybody comes.
It's not only unique to one group, so it's just been happening for a long time.
My grandfather came to Canada in 1926. So and they came to the county of Newell to the Gem area in 1932. The time frame was different, but the story is somewhat similar. Yeah, that's right.
So they came 1932 and they just settled in Gem?
Well, they came from Lethbridge. My father was born in Manitoba, then they moved to Lethbridge to work in the sugar beet industry there in the 30s.
Wow.
And then moved to the farm that I live on in 1932. Excuse me.
In Gem.
That's right, in Gem. Yes.
1932.
Yeah.
Wow.
The sideline story was they picked the farm because it had a good-sized house on it, and it grew thistles, and thistles only grow on good ground. So that's sort of one of the stories of how my grandfather chose the place that I live on today. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's a no, that's and Mr. Reeve Abdi is one of the candidates that we selected for the documentary as well.
Oh, great! Yeah, I look forward to hearing that story.
It's an honor.
That's great.
Yeah, because we need to highlight the beauty of the city and the county.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Through the lenses of people like him.
Yes, and I mean, what happens at JBS is a great benefit to farmers and ranchers in this area. The activity that comes to this area because of the JBS plant where it is a big deal, from cattle sales to all kinds of activity that is generated because of that, which is a great opportunity and benefit to this area.
We all depend on each other.
And we are very honored to have JBS because they are very responsible corporate that gives it back to the community as well.
That's right.
Why would someone, for example, a business, decide to move Brooks and County of Newell?
Well, that's a good question, and I appreciate you asking that, because as the County of Newell, we're working hard to try to encourage business to develop in this area. So we have some tax incentives that make it possible for companies that want to establish in the county to have a known tax base for 10 years. We're going to, and there's a number of initiatives to make it easier to make this an attractive place for a company to start business. So we're certainly looking for that to happen, because it makes, as business develops in the area, it becomes more economical for people to live here as well. So that all fits together, and certainly a part of What the county tries to do is keep the tax base low, the levels of tax low, so that people can develop business in this area.
So in terms of housing, is it the same issue with the city of Brooks having a housing issue in the county?
Shortage? It's interesting.
Shortage, yeah.
There's a demand for housing all over the area, and we hear that, more pronounced from the villages and towns, because there's a higher population or more houses and that kind of thing. But I would say even in the rural areas, if there's a house available, there's somebody living in it.
Wow.
Even out in our area, there's a demand for housing. And of course, developing a house in a rural area is more likely to be a farmer or someone connected to a farmer, but not necessarily. There's opportunity for development out in the rural areas as well.
Wow, for a housing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we had also the Newell housing CAO, Sasha.
Right.
Yeah, yesterday she spoke very well about the housing issue.
Right. Yeah.
And we had Rach Radke, who is also chairperson of the Brooks Housing Society,
Right.
both of them together.
Yeah.
And they spoke very well about the need of the housing,
Right. Yeah.
both provincial and the federal, to invest more housing in the area.
Yeah, that's definitely a big initiative. The county is working together with the town of Bassano and Newell Housing, or the Newell Foundation, to develop seniors housing in the Bassano area. That of course has been a priority for many years that has kind of stalled, and it's been hard to get going, but we believe we're close to getting seniors housing a project begun in Bassano that we're quite excited about. The county will be aggressive to support that, and Amanda at the town of Bassano, together with their council, has worked hard to progress that, and we're supporting that in every way we can. We had a really positive meeting with both the seniors minister and our premier and MLA about some of this 2 weeks ago in Edmonton, and we're very optimistic that things are moving ahead on that. And I would say that many people have been concerned over the years that some of those initiatives have stalled, but we're continuing to press to see things move forward, and believe that we'll see a development happen there in the near future.
Yeah, the other interesting Arnold, is I don't think we never had any MLA who is also a premier in the province.
No.
To my knowledge.
In this area?
In this area.
No.
So what would you see as it's the grade of having MLA at the same time who is also our premier in the community? Well,
we're excited about that. We have the opportunity to have some input on a regular basis. We believe the premier's really has a priority focus on all of Alberta, but also rural Alberta, and I think that's good for us. And we continue to do whatever we can to work together to see things move forward, and I think that we're seeing some of that come together. I talked about the project in Bassano. We're working hard to revitalize the Crop Diversification Center South that has kind of had some budget challenges over the years, and there hasn't been much happening there. But we're working to revitalize the irrigated research that can happen there. And we've had good meetings with both our Premier and Agriculture Minister and Infrastructure to talk about how we can move that forward. So we're hoping over the next months to develop a not-for-profit organization that can give some guidance there and get things going there again. I'm old enough, as many people in this area are, to remember a day when CDC South was a beautiful grounds, and we're hoping to see that restored over the next the coming years. So that's an exciting thing as well for our area, I would say.
That is a great initiative.
Yeah.
And David Andrews, we had him also mention. I think it's a great initiative.
Yes.
We hope that initiative gets off the ground, and I think that becomes reality. Yeah,
I can say from the meetings we had in Edmonton 2 weeks ago, we're very optimistic and working hard to move that forward. So I mean, there was a day when there were a lot of jobs, a lot of people employed in this area because of research at the Crop Diversification Center. And we're not expecting to remake what was there in the past, but there's been a significant amount of infrastructure developed there, and we think it needs to be restored and continue to contribute to agriculture research and irrigated agriculture crop research into the future. So we hope to see some advancement on that for the next growing season already.
Wow. No, I think that's a very great initiative. I think David Andrews speaks all the time on that and hope that gets off the ground. That will benefit not only our region, but also the province.
Yes, that's absolutely. It was the South Research Center, Crop Diversification Center was the name of it. I don't know what we'll call it in the future, but we're quite determined to get things going and appreciate the support of our MLA and Premier in that as well.
That's fantastic. Abdi, so when it comes to JBS, and you mentioned that it's not only cutting beef, they have so many other opportunities within the company, accountancy, and they have trades, they have other opportunities, IT, and you just name it, they have the health services. They don't only have the production line. But people always, when they apply, they think that's only a production company.
One of the misinformation is, as you mentioned, like especially the newcomers, that when like in my experience, right, when I was back home, when I hear about never heard about beef plant anyways, but when you hear about you call it butcher shop, right, and then all you think is like, all you see is basically meat being cut and then put it in a bag and people buying it, and then lots of hard work, people using banga knives and stuff like that. But what I want to tell my people is, you're working in a plant, right? Manufacturing plant, factory. So you have from the whole animal to a piece of meat. So it goes through a lot of process. Let's say there's a packaging, there's boxing. We also make our own, like we fold our own boxes and machines and stuff like that. So you have lots of people working there, just folding boxes or using machine to fold boxes and organize them. You have a lot of people working, especially in fabrication. You have maybe over 2,500. I don't know if it's 3,000 because I never worked there, but I know it's most of our employees, most of the JBS workers work in processing, right? So there's lots opportunity for salesmen, accountants, working with the HR, recruiting, quality control, maintenance in general, electricians, welders, mechanics, plumbers, cleanup, like tons of trade opportunity, tons of job opportunities, and different things. You might not be able to work with knife, but you can also maybe work as a floor cleanup or as a quality control, you know. So yeah, it's generally a plant, not a small shop kind of thing, right? The way that's the mentality I wanted to tell.
Most of the people they have that
mentality. Yeah, so they think once you go there, it's like you just the complexity, right? Is like, if you can see, you see the whole beef, and at the end you only see a small chunk piece of meat, right? So it go through a lot of process and lots of working together, getting it.
No, I think that's well said, Abdikani. And the apart from the farmers, this is a well-known farming area and all that. We also have a very great oil and gas, which part of Alberta's fabric. The importance of oil and gas together with farming. You want to touch base on that because it's all interconnected in terms of economic development.
Yeah, it certainly is. That's a good point because agriculture, it makes a contribution in a significant way, but certainly oil and gas does too. I mean, the county of Newell, I think is home to about half of the gas wells in Alberta, which is a significant thing, and so that creates a lot of activity. That provides a tax base also that makes it more affordable to live in this area. Our tax rate is lower than it would be because there's a lot of activity in oil and gas. In agriculture, the JBS footprint is a big one and contributes to the tax base in a big way. Excuse me. And I think that's a good point. It's really the synergy of agriculture with the development of oil and gas for energy. And I think one of the things that's important to keep in focus is the importance of affordable energy. And we've been blessed with that in this province, but also in this area. And we need to keep, there are all kinds of alternative energy sources, and they're important to develop as well. But what we need to keep our eye on is that energy is affordable because when energy is affordable, the economy flourishes, and that's what we've seen in this area. And I appreciate what you're saying about Lakeside because it's an interesting dynamic from my perspective because we have people that have come from around the world to work at Lakeside and people from across Alberta who raise cattle and other provinces as well that come to this area for processing. They get delivered in a cattle truck and they disperse all over North America and around the world. In terms of beef being exported from what is it, 20 countries, I think, out of the JBS plant, which it's important to keep that in focus because it's an international community, both in terms of the people that work here, but also the reach that we have, the supply that we have for around the world.
But without the Anderson and those who the EID for the irrigation, this could not have happened.
No, that's exactly the other point that I was going to say. All of this happens in this area because of water, the availability of water to irrigate crops. The plant requires water and was developed here because of the availability of water, and that would go back to Garnett's initiative many years ago. And it continues to be an opportunity. My feeling in terms of agriculture is that we've really only begun to address the efficiency of water. We do a lot of things to use water efficiently for irrigation and agriculture, but there's still a frontier there. There's still more opportunity, and this area has a lot more to contribute in future years because of irrigation as well. So I hope that we see that continue to develop aggressively.
And this area was desert before.
Yes, it's the Palliser Triangle. If without water, there's a lot less that grows most years,
Oh, okay. So prior to the irrigation, the area was completely desert.
Pretty much a desert, Wow,
that was a great initiative.
Yes, absolutely.
And
a great deal of vision that identified the opportunity to irrigate. Is a big deal.
So this was the rail. The rail.
Yes, that happened in the days when the rail was when CPR was being built across Canada. It was a CPR that did a lot of the baseline work to develop irrigation, the dam at Bassano, and then the infrastructure to get water all around the area was very much a part of the CPR in the day, and then in subsequent years, it was turned over to the farmers through the Eastern Irrigation District.
Wow. That without that initiative,
it's a dynamic history. Yeah.
dynamic
sure.
history that we need to highlight
Yes. Yeah.
through the documentary, and
Yeah.
we need to highlight that history that's extremely important for the community, not only here, but also through other rural areas.
Well, I think that's a good point that you make. Basically, the vision for what could happen in this area back in the early 1900s, 1914, 1910, and 20, in those years, quite surpassed the technology that was available to develop it. But the vision was there. We need to capture that again and hang on to it, because today we have great opportunities through technology, but we need to continue to develop the opportunities that we have because of the availability of water. So those are very positive for this area, absolutely.
Yeah, and for that simple reason, I think, as you mentioned, investors or businesses are welcome to the county with less tax. Beautiful area, Lake Newell, Dinosaur, not far from Calgary. Yeah, 2 hours to the airport.
Yeah, and an existing workforce because of the plant that has already happened, as you've indicated. We have workers in this area, so that's a strong dynamic as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the labor force.
The labor force, exactly. Yeah.
And that's important for any business.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I think that's well said. So, Abdi, my final message is: what do you have a message for the youth, for example, that are today's youth that looking for to reach their potential, as you did when you first came? Through your hard work and dedication, you succeeded. But what do you have that message of a hope and resilience to the youth of today in general, especially to the newcomers youth who are looking to you as a role model, that if you achieve, then they can achieve also?
What I'll tell the youth, and I always tell them too, right? The basic things you have to do first, especially you have to take responsibility, right? If you push away your responsibility today or neglect your responsibility today, tomorrow you cannot avoid it, right? It'll come back again. So do your basics, commit to whatever you're doing, finish your school and studies. After that, I would say get into the trade. And I always mention, right? It could be millwright, it could be a welder, it could be electrician, it could be like tons of trade, maybe almost 100 trades, even cook, and it will pay off, especially with the technology evolving every day right now. You cannot just rely on one set of skills, right? Or like most of I will come back to my community again. We always like to be your own boss, right? Like driving, delivery option. You can do that on the side, right? But you need, because this one, anybody can do it. Tomorrow you can be taken over. But if you get a trade and then you stay there for a while, or even any kind of technical job, it's evolving. You're learning new things every day, and with the pace life is changing right now, the speed of the technology, right? Like things are changing quick that you might not be able to do the same thing after 10 or 12 years, right? The same thing you're doing right now, maybe it's gonna be the norm. Everybody can do it. It's like before, whoever had a computer skill could have a better job, but now it's everybody. The kids they can use the computer skill. You need more than that, right? So get into the trades, learn about technology, research, especially jobs or what will be available the next 10, 12 years. And don't hesitate too. Sometimes, in my case, when I came here, I came from a tough life. It's gonna be long to explain here on air, but so when I came here, I kind of it helped me shape too. I took our responsibility. Right, when we were in the camp, we used to take care of our siblings. Started work at 15, helping while I was still in school, help with pay with the bills because there was not a lot of jobs. My mom used to sell stuff, and then help support us. My dad could not have a job, even if he wanted to. He could go in the market, look for a job, but there was none. He could whatever he gets. So because of like a relative opened cyber cafe, and he wanted somebody who can read, write, and teach the customers, potential customer, how to use the internet, right? And then that was opportunity for the youth at the time. So I got a part-time job in the evening over there. Eventually became full-time while I was still in school, paying good money at the time, right? Helping support my siblings or my family. So at early age, I was responsible. And when we came here, my sister came with me. She was only 14 at the time. We came with our aunt. And then I couldn't be like any other young following the dreams, right? Coming to a big city, riding after good, like looking for jobs outside and stuff. I had to stay in a city or somewhere I can come home every day, especially help her not feel lonely in a new country. No mom, no dad, right? Especially our aunt helped us a lot. She was there for us for whenever we needed anything. So I would say that kind of responsibility helped me shape myself. I married I can say at an early age, so as well. So and then followed slowly, do whatever you can, and tomorrow will come. It will shape itself. So yeah, just do the basics first. Get into the trades. I cannot stress enough because I believe that trade will also evolve with the technology, with the new technology. You can you will always be important. So I'd say do the things you want to maybe drive and stuff, deliver whatever on the side, but get a career. So that's what I say. We don't only have a job, we also have a career, right? It's a job, it's paying, of course, but it's also a career that if I stop working here or for some reason I move to another place or for whatever reason, I still have that career, but some jobs cannot follow you to the next step. So that's my main thing.
Yeah.
That's a good message.
That's a good message. Thank you. And I think if you are in the serial mechanic or electrician or
you'll always be mechanic.
There's always
You'll always be mechanic. No matter where you go in over the world.
Yeah.
And you can open your own business too.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to work for somebody.
No, that's right. I think really the interesting connection is that if someone's willing to learn and to work, there's opportunity.
There is. Yeah.
And take individual responsibility.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the main one.
Yes. Take responsibility.
Don't ignore it.
They
don't come back. You can avoid today.
Yeah.
But tomorrow there's no way avoiding it.
No.
It comes back to you.
It will come back to you. Yeah.
Yeah. So take every measure is to take full and disappointment and failure is not something to be afraid of.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
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 The more you fail, the more that you get resilience, and you can continue. And failure is not a. It comes with the territory. If you want a success,
you have to fail.
Yeah.
It's inherent in risk, right?
Take risks. Yeah.
If things were sure, everybody would do it, but the opportunity, reward comes with a risk. Yeah.
With the risk, unless you are watching a movie which is
Life's never,
that is 1 hour to be rich, so that won't happen. So, Ms. Reeve, someone who is either from our region who wants to build their business now or have done it and then had some setbacks, what message do you have encouraging them to continue the path so they can be a successful business owners in our region, or some other success, whatever that success they have, their potential?
Sure. Well, I think the thing that is significant in our region is that there's opportunity. I think that in coming years, there's going to continue to be opportunity as we've talked about, for people who are willing to work and learn and adjust. There's going to be realities that we have to adjust to, and we all see that with increasing costs. Costs of living have increased, and I think the other thing that's significant about our area is that it is a community, and a series of communities where people watch out for each other as well. I think it's an important time to be grateful for the opportunities that we have and the things that we can achieve, and then also to look out for other people who have needs, where, you know, as a community we can adjust to help other people meet their needs if they're struggling and that kind of thing. But I think the continued message is there's opportunity for people who want to work, and I think this region has benefited greatly because of the aspect of community, as we've said, where people do watch out for each other and help each other out where that's a need.
I've been a champion of community-minded in terms of not only this in our region, but also through the province. And I think we are very fortunate to live in a great province.
We sure are, and I want to also really appreciate the work that you've done, Ahmed, to pull people together in our community. You've become you become a part of the backbone of our community, and that's much appreciated. And I appreciate your perspective in that over many years already.
Especially connecting, the people who live here and the newcomers and stuff like that, especially in JBS, did a lot of work as well.
Yeah, that's been noticed, and I want to officially or formally appreciate that and recognize you for the work you've done in that area. That's our community is richer and more dynamic because of that, and I want to thank you for that very much.
That's very kind of you, sir, and I think we are very fortunate, and we always advocate is there are a lot of professional newcomers. As I just mentioned to Mr. Eben, we need to step up on the plate. We need to educate our newcomers. We need to encourage them to be involved. We need to have them, I always joke and say, you know what, newcomers professional is not only myself or Mohammed Idris. There are a lot of great newcomers in the community. We need to bring them, we need them to encourage them to step up on the plate and help those others to volunteer, to mentor, to go to the county, to understand how anyone can attend the council meeting in the county.
Yeah, that's right.
On Thursdays. You learn something new. Yeah, you go to the city council, you learn something new.
Well, and that's a good point that you make too. I think all of us, I mean, and I've thought about that a lot too more recently. How do we improve integration so that we bring our communities even closer together, and we learn from each other that way very much. So it's an important for newcomers also to be reaching out to the locals. So that's how you make the community vibrant and help each other. Sometimes they don't feel sometimes welcoming and all that. But I'm sure if you reach out to your neighbor, if you reach out to someone, you will always be received well. If I go to the food bank and ask them, can I volunteer? They will welcome you. They're not going to tell you.
It's reflective, Whatever you show, like whatever you treat someone, yeah, they'll treat you the same way back, right? If you offend someone, most likely you'll get their bad side as well. But if you're nice to someone, I never had any problem with anyone meeting them and talking to them. Usually respect them, give them their space, and ask them politely whatever you want to know, and they're more than welcoming. Especially the culture that I met here in Canada, right? In general, it's very welcoming. Even it's as small as holding the door for the next person, right? It's a huge thing, right? Like you sometimes you neglect others, especially how they make it easy for people with disabilities, right? I recently went back home, maybe it's off topic, but to 2021, and when I left there, I was very young, and I was not able even to see like going with cars and stuff like that, right? I've never traveled much when I came on, but recently when I go home, I went to Somalia to Kenya and came back. And then because I was doing a lot of commuting and public transportation, I appreciated more what we have here. Especially you can go to in a city bus, it will lower for the disabilities so they can get easy. But if you're a disabled there, you need 2-3 people or 2 guys to help you in everything, right? So that's the work of or how do you say it? The community here, the way they are trying to help and taking like making this a priority so that easy access, that someone with a disability does not become a burden to the family or to himself, that he chooses not even to go out, right? So that's one thing.
No, I think that's a good point. I think it's helping each other. I think, as you just rightly said, I think is the right thing to do.
Sort of. Let's not be strangers. Let's be neighbors. You know, that's a big thing, and it's a big opportunity. I think it's something we appreciate about our community, but it's something we remind ourselves about too. I think, right?
Yeah, I always joke with the. I was at Safeway, and there was a gentleman who was Caucasian senior guy, and I was ahead of him, and he says, "Can you get me the milk? So he said, give me 2 of them. I gave to him, and he says, you are a gentleman in this, true gentleman in your color. I just smiled. I was with a friend, and the friend get upset, and I said, no, don't get upset. That's a complimentary from him. So if you take everything in the negative, you're not going to be living your life well. No. And I said, thank you very much, sir. Highly appreciate it. He was very happy. So it's not because it means he has never seen someone from newcomer perspective that handing him something. Or maybe because that's his experience. And that's how he thanks to you, because he has never seen. Maybe he is somewhere away from this, from Brooks, or he comes from somewhere far from the city, or comes from Saskatchewan. Who knows where he comes from, the individual. But it's somebody who has never mingled with different races. But at the end of the day, he was very thankful. That's what counts. You made the person very happy
in his own way.
In his own way. So, and that perspective, I think, and I always brought that just to make sure that people don't always wind their head to the negative always.
There's a lot to be said for that.
Positively,
Think of the positive. Positive.
You sleep well at night,
and that's what he meant. But I would like to take also the opportunity to thank you, your true leadership, and your council, the county council, for for everything they do for the community.
Yeah.
And I have known you Arno, for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it's a privilege and honor to know you that long. And you always advocate for the betterment of the province, and especially for the region of our region. And I'm sure that you will continue, and hope that one day we will also invite your sons to talk about their, their experience of food under 40, top food and under 40. They deserve to be also recognized. And we're looking forward for them to invite them to the Global Village TV show.
Oh, that'd be great.
It will be an honor. We invited one time one of your son. I don't remember him. It was in when we did at Red Roof Studio.
Yeah, I think Daniel,
many years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he spoke very well at that time. He was one of the three.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one, but I think it's great to have very community-minded people who are willing to go to the extra length for the betterment of the community. And your champion, I think, will be off. And hopefully we will see more business coming to the county and to the city.
Yeah.
We live a beautiful region. And hopefully 2024 will be a great year to look forward.
For progress.
Especially when we have our MLA/Premier.
Yeah.
Rural area always, for some reason, we are not on the spot. Because we live in small rural areas. So rural areas always that challenge. Yeah. But now we have a MLA who's championing for the rural interest.
Yeah, that's
which is a bonus.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is a bonus. Yeah. Thank you very much, Abdikani, for your wisdom and your thoughtful kindness of the encouraging the newcomers to get involved more.
Thank you. No, thank you, Adel. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we say
yes. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, this is the end of the program of today, Global Village TV show. We would like to take this opportunity and thank Brooks and Newell region for providing the space today of JBS Center as a venue. And we would like also to take the opportunity to thank both our Reeve, Arno. He's one of the great Reeve in our province. I can say that, living testimony. And Mr. Abdikani, who is a professional newcomer himself and had a lot of experience that he spoke today. Until then, please stay safe, take care, and God bless.